Today, something happens that never happened in the history of financial markets.
SpaceX wants to sell 555 million shares.
A single company rises 75 billion in one day. Not over months, not from private investors, only in one day in a stock exchange in front of the entire world. For context, the previous record was Saudi Aramco in 2019 at $29 billion. SpaceX prices its shares today, June 11th, and begins trading tomorrow, June 12th, on the Nasdaq under the ticker SPCX at a valuation of $1.75 trillion, the largest IPO in human history. And behind that number is a financial story worth understanding before the markets open tomorrow. My name is Ashraf, and we're here talking finance. Most people think SpaceX is only a rocket company, but it hasn't been for a long time. SpaceX today operates three completely different businesses under one roof: space launches, Starlink connectivity, and an AI segment formed after the acquisition of xAI in February 2026. Each one has completely different financial economics, and only one of them is actually generating profits. The launch business, Falcon 9, NASA missions, Pentagon contracts, generated $40.1 billion in revenue in 2025. But posted an operating loss of $657 million. Reliable and strategically important, but not the profit engine. The AI segment, Grok, xAI, compute infrastructure, recorded a $6.35 billion operating loss in 2025. Significant investment, early stage revenue. And then there is the third business, the one currently funding everything else, Starlink. The first acts, the Starlink Machine. These numbers come directly from the SEC filing. In 2025, Starlink generated $11.3 billion in revenue. Between 2024 and 2025, Starlink revenue grew 50% and operating income grew 120%. There is one element worth watching, however. Average revenue per user has fallen from $99 per month in 2023 to $66 per month by March 26, as SpaceX reduced prices to capture the global market share. More users paying less each. Whether the trade-off remains sustainable in the long term is one of the central questions this IPO raises. Second axe, the full financial picture. SpaceX reported a net loss of $4.9 billion in 2025 on $18.7 billion in revenue, and the losses are accelerating. In just the first quarter of 2026 alone, SpaceX posted a net loss of $4.28 billion. SpaceX's cash positions dropped from $24.75 billion at year-end 25 to $15.85 billion by end of the first quarter of 26. At $1.75 billion, SpaceX is priced at approximately 94 times its 2025 revenue. Starlink growth, Starship development, and AI profitability, all moving forward at the same time. The third axe, the control structure. There is one structural fund that every investor needs to understand clearly. Elon Musk retains approximately the 3/4 of the voting power following today's IPO. The shares available to the public are Class A, 1 vote each. Musk holds Class B shares, which carry disproportionate voting weight. This means that regardless of how many shares are sold publicly, Musk retains full decision-making authority over acquisitions, capital allocations, mission direction, and leadership. The fourth axe, the index factor. There is one additional factor that will impact this stock in the upcoming weeks. Under Nasdaq's fast entry rule, SpaceX will automatically qualify to join the Nasdaq 100 after just 15 days of trading. Every ETF and index fund tracking the Nasdaq 100 will be automatically required to purchase the SpaceX shares, not as a choice but a structural requirement of tracking the index. And this creates a wave of institutional demand that will arrive regardless of any individual investor's position on the valuation. Trading begins tomorrow, the June 12th, and that 15 days clock starts immediately. The fifth axe, two sides of the same story. The investment case has two equally valid sides. On one side, Morgan Stanley projects SpaceX could generate $3.4 trillion in revenue by 2040. Starlink holds a dominant position in satellite internet, and is growing at 50% annually. And Starship, once fully operational, could fundamentally reduce the cost of reaching orbit, and the AI losses of today could be significant revenue in 2028. And on the other side, Starlink's revenue per user is declining. AI infrastructure spending is accelerating, and a single individual holds complete voting control with no shareholder override. Both sides are grounded in the same verified numbers from the official filing, and that tension is precisely what makes this IPO one of the most consequential financial events in the recent memory. And now the important question: should you buy the SPCX? If you have a long time horizon of 10 years or more and believe satellite internet will be a global infrastructure and are comfortable with one person holding complete control over your investment, the entry point is $135 per share gives you exposure to what could be the most transformative technology company of the next decade. If you are a short to medium term investor, the numbers demand patience. Buying at open tomorrow means you are paying for 2035 and not in 2026. And if you are considering a small position only for exposure, that is a reasonable approach. The Nasdaq 100 inclusion in 15 days means the stock will receive automatic institutional buying regardless of sentiment. That structural support is real. And if you decide to wait, it is equally valid. This stock will still exist in 3 months. By then, one full quarter of public financial results will be available. The picture will be clearer, and the price will reflect reality rather than anticipation. There is no single right answer here. There is only one single answer that fits your financial situation, your timeline, and your risk tolerance. Today marks the largest IPO in financial history. The numbers behind it are public for the first time. Starlink's profitability is real, and the losses are real. The ambition is real, and the risk is also real. And tomorrow morning, June 12th, for the first time, anyone can purchase a share of the company building the new infrastructure of the next century. Facts on the table, and what you do with them is your decision. Ticker SPCX. Trading begins tomorrow.